Hi, Dimey. Remember when I told you that I have insomnia? Well, things have turned upside down these days. I don't know what in the world is happening. Well, I slept too much now and I get a severe headache. This is my life. Sometimes when I overweight, my skin glows beautiful. And then when I try to lose some weight, my skin chooses to have a breakout. It is really hard for me to stabilize things in my life. And you know what's odd? I'm a Libra, which emphasize balance and stability in life. So, let's put that aside. I have a question for all of you, Dimey. Have you ever wondered about your spouse's profession? What he do for a living? If you're curious about that, you've come to the right place. For those who are new to my channel, you are welcome to come join our Dimey family. Subscribe down below. Now, you need your D1, aka your birth chart, and also your D9 chart, aka your Navamsha chart for this prediction. If you don't have your D1 and D9 chart, you can click on my description box below. I've provided a link to calculate your birth chart. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to look at your 7th house lord in D1 chart and look at the placement of your 7th house lord in your D9 chart. And then I want you to count 10 places away from that placement in your D9 chart. Get it? Or am I going too fast? Don't worry, I got you. Let's do it together. In this birth chart, the 7th house is in the sign of Cancer, so the 7th house lord is Moon. Well, you can refer to this table if you feel like, what the fuck is she talking about? Now, in the D9 chart, the 7th house lord, which is Moon, goes into the 12th house. No, not yet. Remember I told you, you have to count 10 places away from that? Let's count it together, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, all you have to do is look at the sign of that house. For example, in this chart, it is the Virgo sign. So now, if yours is in the sign of Aries, so it is very likely that your spouse is working as an engineer or maybe a politician or working in the military or a policeman. And maybe he is self-employed or a sportsman or something, or maybe he's doing business and entrepreneur. But if yours is in the sign of Taurus, then your spouse could be working as a banker, or maybe he is a computer programmer, or lawyer, an interior designer, selling luxury cars, luxury things, maybe a jeweler's, or maybe he's inventing applications, and maybe he is a consultant or some sort. And then if yours is in the sign of Gemini, then your spouse could be working in the human resource department, or maybe doing marketing, or he is an anchor man or an anchor woman, or maybe he is a social media influencer, a film director, or maybe he's working in the tourism, maybe he has a tourism company, or he is a radio DJ, a TV host, anything that related to him needing to communicate a lot. If yours is in the sign of Cancer, then your spouse could be working in the financial industry or maybe in the health industry, helping people. For example, a financial consultant or a nurse or a doctor, social service type of work, for example, banker or a counselor or a psychologist or maybe a real estate agent. And then if yours is in the sign of Leo, then your spouse could be working as a manager. For example, a manager to a celebrity, or maybe a CEO in a company, or maybe a politician, and also maybe an entrepreneur. He could be an actor or an actress, or maybe an artist. If yours is in the sign of Virgo, then your spouse could be working as an accountant or maybe a translator, or maybe he makes some subtitle for movies, and then maybe he is an analyst or an auditor, or maybe some type of video editing. If yours is in the sign of Libra, then your spouse could be working as an architect, and then as a lawyer, or maybe a diplomat or a beautician, or maybe an interior designer, or a singer, or an actor or actress, or maybe a social worker. If yours is in the sign of Scorpio, this is interesting because your spouse could be working as a detective or an investigator. Imagine if people ask, what is your spouse's profession? Then you can say, my spouse is a detective. Oh my God. And then he could be a secret agent, or maybe a surgeon, or a lawyer as well. And maybe he has an organization. Maybe he is a stuntman. Any adventurous job, or like a daredevil type of job. Hold on, what's a daredevil? I think I've heard it somewhere. Maybe in a cartoon. I don't know. Well, wait. It reminds me of the song, well. Okay, if yours is in the sign of Sagittarius, then your spouse could be working in a public relation type of, job. Maybe a paparazzi, or maybe a pilot or stewardess, a flight attendant, and maybe doing business as well, entrepreneur, missionaries, or maybe a spiritual gurus. Now, if yours is in the sign of Capricorn, then your spouse could be a developer, or maybe a pharmacist, or a doctor. If yours is in the sign of Aquarius, wait, my cat is staring at me from afar. I always feel like somebody's watching me. You know the song from TikTok? Okay, if yours is in Aquarius, then your spouse could be working in NASA, NASA, and then maybe working in the vet, working with animals, or maybe he is an engineer or social worker or an activist or a pilot. And then last but not least, if yours is in the sign of Pisces, then your spouse could be working as a photographer, or maybe a psychologist, or a lawyer, or a philanthropist, or maybe a teacher, or maybe a banker, or a filmmaker, a film director. Alrighty, my Dimey babies, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you on my next video. Ta-ta!